Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to Breakfast of Champions, the only podcast on the internet hosted by three millennials that talk about three things: coffee, games, and life. Did you know that I actually originally wanted to name the show Coffee, Games, and Life?
You did?
Is it too late? It's too late to do that now.
We're branded now.
No.
What's going on, peeps? How's it going? KB, how are you doing? What the hell are you doing outside?
You know what? I had a hankering for some sunshine and hot dogs, man, and I figured I'd, do the show. I didn't want to miss the show, so here I am. You needed it. We're living.
You needed it. You needed that sunshine. As much time as you've spent in front of the glow of a Steam Deck, you need some vitamin D in your life.
Man, I'll tell you what, we use all of it I could get, man. I need a new chair is what it is. And unfortunately with the way our house is set up, there's only one like heater vent in my room, and it goes to my office and the bedroom, but not the other half of the house. So I screwed up and didn't turn the heater on back there. So I'm sitting up here. It's a little chilly. My chair said not today for holding myself up. So we're here. Green Acres here. I am in Green Acres, buddy. We're out here. But yeah, other than that, man, it's cold. I'm miserable. It's been snowing. I've been not had a good week except for Pokemon. That's about it.
Whoa, well, we got it. That's a can of worms there. We're going to open that in the topic. But I'm glad I'd say I'm glad you're doing well, but you're not. Cody, how are you?
I'm doing well. It's been a pretty slammed week too. Like, had a lot going on with the day job. Pokemon launched this week, as we're going to open up in the topic as well. Yes. It's pretty much been my entire life is talking about Pokemon for a week, but no, it's been good. I had some suplex tacos before I came down here. It's a local taco joint. Nice. Amazing. It's like Cali Mix. They throw French fries in the burritos. Get a little guac, get a little sour cream. It's great. No, don't. It's good. It's good.
I don't like burritos, man. So you already lost me there.
Oh, food sin. Don't like burritos.
For real?
I don't like burritos. There's too much going on there, man. It's not like I don't like. I like tacos, quesadillas, and fajitas, but not a fan of burritos.
Really?
You're like a three items in a shell max kind of guy. Eh? So some cheese, some steak.
Yeah, that's all. I can only handle so much, man. And when you come at me with a whole food group, and the palm of my pyramid. hand, I can't do it.
Oh man, but no, listen, at this point though, I've got a full belly, and because I'm with you guys, a full heart. How are you doing, Airclad?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. It's been as usual, a bit of a busy week. It's funny. I've realized that when I'm working, I forget who I am. I forget what interests I have, and then finally, when it rolls into like the days off, I'm like, oh, that's right. I like this. I like playing games. I like doing things. I don't know if you guys find that when you work, like you just disassociate with your personality until you finish working, pretty much. So I kind of had an opportunity to go full time at my job in 2 weeks, which is it's bittersweet. At least it'll give us a couple extra bucks. But man, I'm just feeling a bit down about missing out on time with my son. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nerdwire, I was going to ask you, as a parent of two beautiful children, how do you feel working like 9 to 5? Well, actually, probably more, like 5 days a week, man.
Yeah, with my job, it's salaried, so it's like whenever they need me, and then the required times during the open business hours. But I don't know. It's frustrating. That's probably the biggest frustration I have about it is like I don't get to see my kids throughout the day, and sometimes by the time I get home, it's like, oh hey kiddos, give you a kiss on the head. Now it's time to go to bed. I love you guys. And the only thing that keeps me rolling with some of that stuff 90% of the time is I know what I'm doing is providing them a more comfortable lifestyle. I mean, and the plus side is that the wife doesn't miss out with the kids, because if it was both of us gone all the time, we'd just go pack up and travel the world and be homeless, and I'll busk on the streets with a guitar. Like we'd be fine at that point. I'm not going to take both of us away. So I don't know. It's frustrating. Gratifying. I don't know, but I love my kids, and that's why I keep doing it.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough. Like I got the offer to do full time, and we just kind of have to take it at the moment now. So I'm like, I kind of like mentally looked at my son. I was like, well, there goes your childhood for me. See ya. You know what I mean? I know it's a bit of a downer thing, but hey, we're open and transparent people here. And look at KB. I mean, he's grounded. Like, you know, his cheeks are literally on the ground.
He is on the ground. He's down there.
I'm sitting on the floor in my office, man. You can't get any lower than me, that's for sure.
Well, if you would like to help fund KB a new chair.
By the way, can I just say a massive thank you to these wonderful 5 people right here. Let's go ahead and give a shout out to Kensby Extreme Nettist. That's DJ Bob. Well, I suppose I've doxed you then. Doesn't matter. Yeah, all those people on the screen there. Thank you so much for supporting us on Patreon. Did you know that on Patreon you get 3 tiers, more content more often? Very, very exciting, because today after this show we are recording our first bonus episode, which is, do you know what episode that is?
I'm excited for it.
Yeah,
I know.
Do I want to take it away?
Take it away.
Yeah, take it away.
Why did you what?
Hi.
Hey, look who it is.
What did you get? What?
Hello.
Coke.
You got a Coke? Is this a Coke? Yeah. Can you say
special Coke.
Can you say hi, everybody?
Hi.
You say welcome to my show. All right. Bye, sweetie. Go see mom now, okay? Go ahead, take it away.
It's House Hunters International. It is the special episode with Eric and Amber Ladd as they find their forever home. Will there be drama? Will there be suspense? There probably will be lots of cursy words. So
yes, we are finally going to discuss the House Hunters International episode that Amber and I were on 5 years ago. And we'll be watching the entire episode, and we'll be reacting to it, and we'll also include a download link to it in the Patreon thing. So if you want to go support us over there on Patreon, that's one of the cool bonus things. So you get that in tier 2 and tier 3. Yep. So
you guys asked for it. Now you get it.
Now you get it. And that's one of the many cool things that we have planned. And you know what else we have planned for the show today? We have a voice. We have a voicemail.
Oh.
Let's go ahead and play this one. Hear what this sounds like.
Hey everyone, this is the waiting place from Eric's Discord. Hope you're all doing well. My question to the group is, do you identify as a gamer or collector first? How do you feel about one versus the other? Thanks guys, keep up the great work.
Great voicemail. Great voicemail. So are you a gamer or a collector first?
Ooh.
You guys take it away. I'm going to open up my pumpkin spice vodka.
Me? You want me to do it?
I want you to start. You're the hot take guy. I want to hear your hot take.
How am I the hot take? I guess I have had some hot takes.
Oh my God. This smells so bad.
Oh man, I'm jealous. You guys are drinking and I can't.
It's 10:30 on a Sunday morning.
Yeah, well, you could just tell your in-laws you're drinking with your American friends. That's all they'd understand.
6:30 somewhere.
I would say I'm a gamer first, collector second. Like I am with the way things are. Like I have a pretty robust Switch physical collection. Not gonna lie, but it got that way because I want all the video games. I want to play all the video games. Everything else in my collection, it's small because you can't afford anything. Everything's too expensive, at least out here. So me, I'm a gamer. Gamer first, collector dead last.
I see. I'm up for the mentality that I like to dabble with a little bit of both, and the reason why is because there's been times where I have to sell games to just do whatever. So having amassed a giant collection, it's allowed me to sell off a bunch of things for like Earthbound and Chrono Trigger and Super Mario RPG and stuff. I've talked about those before. So, but nowadays I feel that here we go. Here it comes. With the Steam Deck, I feel like I'm more of just a gamer in general. I just really enjoy playing games with a little bit of time that I have to play. I'm not in a position right now to collect. Maybe in a couple of years, once we get some more, once I get some more money, really, then I can start buying things and amassing things, and then if I need to, just sell them up. I don't know. I'm not too tied to physical possessions in terms of games, other than just a very, very small handful, which is my Super Nintendo collection. That's it. So I'd probably say right now, the phase that I'm in, gamer. What about you, Cody?
I can feel that. I kind of land in the same boat that Aaron does. Is in some ways, I would say, for my nostalgia pieces, the things that made my childhood or things that I've wanted since I was a kid, those are things that I've went out and recollected. But they aren't things that have stayed in a box or on a shelf. Like, I've played those. Like, I continue to play those. And I don't know where that line is exactly. Like, what defines collector versus gamer? Collector, is that a person who just sits it up on a shelf and looks at it and holds on to it until it amasses value? Or is it a person who wants it and uses it? I don't know. But for me, like, I probably land somewhere in the camp of gamer. I do like my physical media, though. Steam Deck is not a friend to me because I can't just insert a cartridge or a disc or what have you. Mm-hmm. But I like my Steam Deck. Still like it. But will I buy it physically on a different platform if I can? Yeah, so maybe I'm a collector. Who knows? I'm still going to play it, but maybe a collector.
I think there's also like the hardcore collector type of person as well. The type of person that will buy things and then keep them sealed just to have on the shelf. And there's a certain point where I start to just disagree with that. And, you know, for example, I'll give you guys a great example. And I know we got 66JD in the chat, and he's going to love this.
Ooh. As he throws it on the floor.
As I throw it on the floor. So there's certain things.
Yeah.
There's certain things that I will go out and buy, and I recently bought these, and I have 2 left in the collection to get. The Final Fantasy VII Extra Knights toys. So these were a line of toys that came out in the late 90s, and I've bought almost all of them sealed. Okay, these to me are wonderful display pieces because of what they are, and also because these are things that I had as a kid, and I actually still have a few of them at home in the States. I really just like the idea of having these really cool timepieces, these nostalgia pieces that you just can't get anymore. And sometimes you pay upwards of maybe $100 or more per figure. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But you can't get them anymore.
You know what's nice about those? They don't have disc rot. They don't have, resistors and capacitors that just start melting the boards on them when they get old.
The only thing that can deteriorate here is the glue that's on the backer boards and stuff like that. Some things some of these I've bought, like there were like sticker residue like on the back there, which I've taken off, like the Sephiroth one very, very, very carefully as not to damage the original box. But these are beautiful things, man. So I suppose depending on what it is, maybe I am a little bit of a collector. These I would never sell, man. So there you go.
I have a question. Where does privateer come in on the collector or gamer?
Privateer?
I mean, just asking for a friend. Where if you were to hypothetically be a pirate, would you be a collector or a gamer at that point?
I think it depends on how you use it.
I'd just say gamer.
Just asking for a friend,
I'd say gamer because you're pretty much just downloading things to play them, not to have them.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Unless,
That's a good point.
Unless you're the kind of guy that likes to have things sitting in his Steam library so you can look at them.
Well, I like things.
Let's say a friend possibly downloaded a lot of different ROMs from the internet. A very close personal friend. So you could say I know him as well as I know myself. I would say he's probably a bit of a collector, because there's a lot of those that he hasn't played yet. Maybe someday. But for the sense of game preservation, to ensure that these things live on, because someday they're going to be gone off of a marketplace. Someday DRM is going to take everything down. I'm not going to advocate 1000% for that, because I think there's a line, and my friend might cross a line every now and again. My friend might, but
I might cross a line. Look, I might cross a line a week early, but I'm still paying for it. Sometimes 2-3 times even. So I mean, they're getting my money. They're securing the bag either way.
So you're the kind of guy. Well, no, sorry. Your friend's the kind of guy that will somehow.
Yeah, not me. For clarity, not me. My friend that I know as well as I know myself.
Somehow acquire the new Pokemon games to play them on Steam Deck, and then that person will buy them digitally and then go buy the double pack at Target the following morning.
So like that, I mean, well, you know, when you have gold coins in your Nintendo account just sitting there, you kind of got to use them. I mean, but. Yeah, like they're like here's my thing. I hate when people pirate stuff and they go, I'm never buying it. But like I'll pirate it all day because I'm still gonna buy it at the end of the day. You know, I don't care. I'll buy it in some shape or another. So I mean, am I really a pirate, or am I just you know?
Well, I'll give you a good example, man.
You're an early access VIP.
Yeah, you get the review codes, man. I mean,
you're playing the demo that came out on the Steam Deck.
Exactly.
The game.
Yeah, Gabe emailed me personally and said, "Yo, check this out. I need you to review it for the people so we can push more units. It is the holidays."
I love that.
Oh my gosh.
Well, there you go. Thank you, The Waiting Place, for calling in and leaving a voicemail. That's a great topic. And thank you again, The Waiting Place, as well, for supporting on Patreon. We really appreciate your support. Now, let's head on over to the news bite. Cody, you're going to take this one off because I have no idea what the heck's on here. Let's go.
Absolutely. Good. Yes. Welcome.
Yeah,
we've got news, guys.
We are covered in news, man.
I love being covered in news.
This news comes from one of the most reputable news sources that I think we have around on the internet. First heard on Bloomberg.com.
Oh God!
Have you guys heard about Zuck and what he's done? What he's done with the metaverse and with the people that were working for him at Facebook?
What has Zuckerbot done today?
I have no idea.
Zuckerbot. The headline here is Zuckerberg fires 11,000 employees. Says of the metaverse,
Yikes.
quote, "I've gotten this wrong." I got this wrong. And dude, I know you're a big VR advocate, and you and I both like our Oculus Quest 2s. Almost as much as the next guy, and you've even advocated for the what's the MetaQuest Pro? Is that what that's
Quest
called? The
Pro, man. If I could get one, I would.
Oh man! But you ever use the metaverse? Did you ever use it?
I went into it once, and it was very empty.
No virtual Kmarts there, eh?
No virtual Kmarts, no waifu strip clubs, man. They were all gone. He nuked them all, man. I was like, where am I supposed to go from here?
Times are tough.
Oh man, times are tough. But the article does go on to give a little bit more context surrounding what's going on over at Facebook. So their stock plunged 71% this year amid disappointing earnings and sliding revenue, which is crazy because that stock has done nothing but go up, 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 and up over the last decade and a half. They do go on to say advertising marketers fear an as yet unrealized recession and Zuckerberg's multi-billion-dollar investment in a speculative virtual reality push he called the metaverse. unfortunately, because of lockdowns, it did not amass the people that he wanted, the surge in web traffic. And he says, quote, "I got this wrong. I'm especially sorry to those impacted." So my question to you guys is, beyond the, hey, would you have used Metaverse? Probably a better question would have been, what would have made you want to go on to the Metaverse?
Absolutely no draw to me. Nothing. Like we've talked about it before, and even in our pre-Nerdwire days, we talked about VR being future games and stuff like that. It's just, to me, it's more of just a quirky fad or phase or something. Like, there is no draw whatsoever, and especially MetaQuest, considering, like, for some reason I feel like Facebook and the Metaverse is just like so much less trustworthy than anything else. Like, I just have no desire to go anywhere near. And I'm sure, like, people may completely disagree with me and say that I'm just just a boomer or something like that. I don't know.
Okay, boomer.
You old booming stick in the mud.
Because video games are just a fad. They're going away.
Aaron, as our resident VR advocate, what would have made you use the Metaverse? Something closer to VR chat or something else?
Ready Player One.
Ooh, haptic feedback suits.
Everything. Make it so
stacks,
I can,
dude.
I can have a total wreck of a life, but then go somewhere else and be transported to whatever I want to do. Play whatever I want to play.
Go have a wreck of a life in VR.
Yeah, I can go drive my DeLorean around and collect coins, man. You know what I mean? Like, that would be fun. But the problem here is there's a bunch of problems, which is what this guy got wrong. One, he didn't account for the economy just going right down the tubes, and it's further going down the tubes. And he's aiding in it by laying off all these poor, unfortunate people. So there's that. There's also the fact that lockdowns did spike video games as a whole. They spiked the collector scene, which is unfortunate for a lot of us. It's spiked just video games in general. People were buying up consoles. You can just now kind of get a PS5 if you're lucky. I mean, a lot of people turned to video games, and I think he saw, like, yep, let's do it. Flash in the pan, let's go. And he goes, you know what else we can do? Not only can we play video games, we can use the Metaverse for productivity. And that right there turned a lot of people sour. Like,
Yep. Yeah.
Don't, like, a lot of businesses, because in America, for those international people, the reason America gives no PTO, no time off, no nothing, is because we're hungry and we want to make money, because money is the way. Money is king. Cash is always going to be king here in the land of the red, white, and blue. What do you do when people are at home? You got to get them to work somehow. I'll use my VR headset and we'll roll into that. So if you want me to play a video, you want me to work 12 hours a day and then continue to use your product to play my video games in my leisure time, I'm taking that off and throwing it in the bin, man.
Right.
So,
I can't tell you how often on a Monday I don't want to be down in my office anymore. This is where I come and do my day job stuff. And then I'm like, I want to leave this room.
I'll tell you what, dude, when I was working from home, when I was working at the last company, I hated streaming. I could not get behind it, because I was at the desk right here 8 hours a day, sometimes longer. And then in the evenings, and then to have to stream again. It's like, no, I'm not doing it. But now that I'm, in the position I am, I love streaming. This is fun. This has become my job. And he's taking all the things fun out of VR and what can be fun and just washing them away. I mean,
souring a good thing. That's the thing, is like, this is why I like having, a work-life separation. And, like you guys were speaking to, there was a point where we had, when we first did our recording studio and design thing, we had it at the front of our house, and I would always be working on client stuff rather than my own stuff. And it's like, it's in the front of our house, so I don't want to go into that room anymore. You know what I mean? So I found that I was less productive on my own things, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the thing when you introduce a medium like this, which, as Public Enema in the chat says, VR should be better suited for like immersive entertainment, like front row virtual seats to concerts and sports like that. I feel like that, to me, is a little bit better use than, let's just get them to virtually commute in your virtual Tesla and go to the virtual office. Like, nobody wants to do that. Come on, it's just like,
there's just
tone deafness, man.
I think there's just a big misunderstanding of what VR's proper use is from most developers. And that's I don't think we're going to get over that hump for a long time, and how we are going to use it in our day-to-day everyday lives until there's a connection between there has to be that work-life separation. No one wants to work in the metaverse and then go play in the metaverse.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So next on the dock, this is an interesting one. So have you guys heard that Yuji Naka, the co-creator of Sonic, was arrested the other day for in the context of insider trading related to the new installment from the Dragon Quest franchise. So he originally was working with Sega, and then of course he bounced out after Sonic, etc. And then he signed with Square to work on Balan Wonderland or Balan Wonderworld or whatever. It was just total trash game. I streamed it. I thought I liked it. It was fine, but whatever. It
was aspirational. It was like Nights into Dreams, but bad.
Yeah, it was. I think it was undercooked because it was meant to be. I think it was meant to be played by kids with their imaginations, like filling in the gaps, rather than like me as like almost a 30-year-old dude streaming it on Twitch and saying, "Oh, this game sucks." You know what I'm saying? It's just made for a different audience. So yeah, he was working with Square, and of course he got arrested for insider trading. So the let me actually see what the meat and potatoes are of the story. Some media outlets reported that former employees of Square Enix were under investigation for suspected insider trading. We've been fully cooperating with requests from Securities and Exchange Surveillance Commission. We deeply regret. So yeah, this is somebody from Square that has come out as a result. So imagine that, the co-creator of Sonic arrested for insider trading. Is he really hurting that bad? Balan Wonderworld did that bad?
I mean, didn't he break NDA or something? So he probably lost a bunch of money in court cases.
Yeah, something to that effect. So basically what he did was he bought 47 million yen worth of stock prior to one of the Dragon Quest announcements. So because he knew that Square was going to announce it, he bought a bunch of stock, and he basically rode the wave and doubled his money pretty much. So
yeah, to put it into context for anyone who doesn't know how much yen that would buy or how much stock that would buy, that's 10,000 shares of the company. 10,000. Holy cow.
2 million yen is no joke, man.
Yep.
It was 330 something $1,000 roughly, I think, by the article here. So yeah, that's I know that his particular track record hasn't been that great over the last couple of years, and especially allegedly, like he's pretty toxic to work with. One of the reasons why I think some of the Sega Saturn games didn't go ahead properly, or like one of the Sega Sonic games on Saturn didn't go ahead because he didn't want to give source code to any of the other fellow developers in the circle at that time. So that's why we never got was the Sonic Extreme on the Sega Saturn. I think I might be right with that. So very, very sad, troubled history here over the last couple of years for him.
Poor guy. Well, I mean, hey, if Martha Stewart can bounce back, he can too. You know,
you just got to get hooked up with Snoop Dogg and start smoking the ganja on a cooking show. I think people would sign up to watch that for sure.
Snoop International.
Did you just say ganja?
Ganja.
Yeah.
Ganja.
Yeah,
Ganja. Here we are, just repeatedly saying ganja on our stream tonight. Oh man. But no, that's absolutely crazy. Like looking a little bit deeper into it, apparently he was hoping to ride the highs of a mobile game.
Yeah, Dragon Quest Attack.
Hey, strike when the iron's hot. I mean, people did it with GME.
That's fair, I suppose.
You know, and I mean, there were a lot of people when GME was going up that said, well, there's a lot of insider trading, because if I'm telling you, hey, go do this, and then I'm buying it, and then you're telling me, hey, you might want to sell it. That's tech. I mean, it's all, if you get caught doing it, you get caught. If you don't get caught, keep doing it, you know?
Diamond hands, y'all. Diamond hands. Hodl.
That's it.
Naughty. So KB, you got something here about Twitter too, man. You're all up.
Yeah,
to
if we want to, if Zuckerbot isn't, just tanking Meta in the metaverse, old Uncle Elon's at it again with just destroying Twitter, man. He locked out the entire San Francisco HQ where nobody can get in. He's slowly but surely destroying Twitter, and people are jumping ship. And I mean, like, for instance, Wario64. We all know Wario64, right? He said, "Hey, I don't." Guy. He said, "I have no clue where I'm going to end up and where I'm going to post the deal. So join my Discord." At the time, he had over 10,000 people when I joined in. 10,000 online in his server.
Wow.
That's 10,000. Yeah, because people don't know what's going to happen with Twitter. I mean, this morning before I went back to sleep, there was somebody had posted the entirety of the Fast and Furious movie in 2-minute increments and made an entire thread of it. Twitter is on fire. Twitter is burning, and I am all for it, man. It's the most dumpster fire thing of this year, and it just keeps getting better and better. I mean, Elon's blasting developers that he's firing through Twitter. Like it's insane. And I looked at a lot of the other like social media options, because honestly, when Twitter's gone, where do you go? What do you do? I mean, that's how I found a lot of creators. That's how I found about Eric Ladd's Discord, was on Twitter. I don't go on Instagram. I have one, but I hardly ever go on it. I don't go on Facebook, but to creep on all my old friends from high school. So I don't really social media. So like Twitter was my like spot where I find all the happenings in the world, and I don't have that now. Like, it's going to go away, and I'm curious what to do, because I know a lot of them are going to, like, I think something called Mastodon, but that looked like some weird Danish thing. Like, I know it's from the Netherlands, and that's every like thing you click on's in a different language. That's fun.
Seeing Tumblr's having a resurgence.
Yeah,
Tumblr's coming back. Yeah, I mean, I don't
might have to dust off the old Nerdwire Tumblog.
No, man. But like, yeah, it's really funny to see how, Elon wanted Twitter, and then he backed down from that sale. They told him, nope, you have to go through with it. And now he's like, I'll go through with it, but I'm going to go bankrupt and do a write-off, because why not?
Just burn it to the ground.
I saw a tweet that was basically the European arm of Twitter, the contractors. Nothing's happened. Nothing's changed. It's pretty much like Elon gave everybody an ultimatum that was like, hey, I've just bought this company. If you don't want to align with the vision that I have for it, you guys can leave. You get 3 months severance, which I think is a pretty good deal. So if you don't, I'm like, 3 months severance, like, come on, that's enough time for you to just chill out for a bit and then find another job. So anyway, not that I'm like making light of it, but still, people are losing jobs. But then again, they're not losing jobs. They're like, they have the option to walk away. So apparently Twitter has now a core team of people. I saw some photos of Elon Musk at Twitter HQ working with those people. So essentially what he did is, if this pans out properly, what he will have done is like clear out 75% of Twitter employees and streamline it to the point where there's only a core team of people working on it. Then see what happens then. Like,
well, I mean, he's running it like he runs Tesla. And the reason I say that is because I used to work with people who have moved on to Tesla and were in his like inner circle of like people.
Yeah.
And when I was talking to them, they were saying, he's always asking why and how can this be better? And he also doesn't like to be told no. And one of them told him no, and he got fired on the spot, which I think was funny, because then he moved back to Pittsburgh, and we, laughed about all the quirky things Elon likes to do. But it's like him, he does not like, he wants to be the guy. And if there's someone else in the room who wants to say, no, this is how it's going to be, he's like, we can change that. There's other ways. So I think what you're saying is 100% Elon, man. He's like, you know what? We got all these people. Let's cut it down. Let's go to just 5 guys who just run the server room, and then we'll call it a day. And then, give me my sync back and we'll leave. Like, I mean,
a lot of people want to talk smack about Elon, and I don't care whatever anybody thinks about Elon. It doesn't matter, because it doesn't bother me at all. But you don't get to be like a billionaire with Tesla and SpaceX and all that stuff for being an idiot. So,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, as a observer, we have no idea what's happening at Twitter other than like, oh my god, Twitter employees are locked out, everything's on fire.
Yeah,
we don't know how things are actually going on the inside. So I'd just be interested to see how things look on Twitter from a year a year from now. Is Twitter going away? No.
No, I mean, but the fact it's
he just bought it for $44 million. Like, is it going away?
I mean, it could, and he can get that write-off, man. You know, hey, my company went bankrupt, bailout, give me that cash.
There you go.
You know, I mean, they've done it before.
I'll bail out. Do it again. I'll go bankrupt for $44 million.
I mean, wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? I wish I had $44 million to say I went bankrupt.
I know. Wish I had $44.
Preach.
All right, let's flick on over to our topic. We got a good one because guess what? We're gonna catch them all. Unusual. You know what is unusual?
What is?
The fact that I haven't bought the new Pokemon game yet.
Well, I kind of figured you wouldn't because you hated going through Diamond again. I for sure thought I was going to see a video of you lighting it on fire.
You and me, we can just play together. Boys' night in the basement, pizza.
I would love that. I'm blushing. In fact, I think it's wonderful.
I can tell.
What do you guys think? So you guys have picked up the new Pokemon games. We're going to get into everything that everybody's been talking about this week for Pokemon glitches, all that kind of gabagoo, as our friend Chris Pratt from Nintendo says.
The gabagoo.
What are your vibes so far, KB? I know you're loving it, and Cody, I saw you streamed it a little bit. What are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, dude. So as far as my takeaways from this game, the performance is bad. I mean, I don't think that anybody can sugarcoat that. Anyone who's played this game knows that it's bad. It has a memory leak. It has really bad loading textures. Sometimes the camera angles are all wrong. Like, I've watched my Pokemon just float at the end of battle animations, and it's like, what is going on?
Oh, man.
But I don't think any of that negates, because that's the problem, like, with most of the reviews I've seen, is that the focus is how poorly it's performing. Below all of that, for me, there's a really friggin' fun game under there. Like, I've had a blast just playing it what I have played it. So much so, I've played it twice. I'm doing an on-stream playthrough, and then I'm doing an off-stream playthrough where I can just play at my own pace instead of having to read everything to chat and wait on decisions to be made.
You're doing a separate playthrough with a separate game?
Yep. Yeah, I'm doing both versions. I'm doing Violet on stream and Scarlet off stream. Virtually the same game. It's fun. I've enjoyed it.
I thought about doing both of them, but then I can't. Also, you read to your chat? They can read. They have eyeballs. They're educated. They can read.
No, not my chat. I barely can read. They all came to my stream. They're like, "Hey."
they all want me to read, but good thing for them. I hate the way I sound, so they get to sit there and listen to me laugh the whole time as I just silently read the things.
I read everything. I even read when I was doing my Final Fantasy VII Let's Play. I was reading characters in different voices.
Oh, you guys voices?
You guys need to teach me how to.
We gotta up our production values. Clearly, we are not keeping up.
With Kate Sith, I was reading things in a Scottish accent. Everything he would say would be.
Man.
I like it. I need to have you just come. You can come read in our chats, like to our chats whenever we're streaming it. But it's good.
Yeah, it is. It's a good game.
Yeah,
you liking it, KB?
See, I'm on the other side of the table, man. I think the performance issues, they're too exaggerated, man. Yeah, my game crashed, but like, games crash. There's Switch games. Let's just face it. Nintendo games suck for everything. Mario had pop-in and texture issues. You know, there's Mario Kart had pop-in and texture issues until how many other patches have come along. It's typical Nintendo games. I can look past that because I'm not overcritical. I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, this game sucks, and then hit post on my Twitter and then wait for all the things to show up, all the likes and clicks, and then make a video and go, here's why Pokemon sucks. And then I go again and go, well, hold on, I was wrong. Like, that's not me, man. That's not me. The game's good. The game's fun. The open world. I mean, I've hit a wall where every Pokemon I encounter now is level 45 and my whole team is like 20 and under, and I can't find any easy Pokemon. So like I'm screwed. So if you're going to watch my stream, enjoy that. Watch that struggle. I love the game. This is great. I mean, outside of wanting a Pokemon MMO, this is what I like. I like that I can jump in the game with my friends, and my friends can jump in mine. And here's something. With the two versions, if I play with somebody who's playing on Violet, the Violet Pokemon populate in my game, and my Pokemon populate in their game. So you don't really need to worry about exclusives anymore because you can catch on either thing while you play with friends. Yeah, so like that's great. There's a lot of good things they did to this. Memory leaks aside, I don't care. It's fun.
I gotta say,
I like. I mean, if you've played Cyberpunk. I mean, that game was super broken, and this is not on Cyberpunk level, and everybody on the internet thinks it's, this is so bad. It's not bad. Like, it's not bad at all.
The main drawback that I've had with seeing content creators doing anything, and this kind of piggybacks off your point, KB, I always see this game sucks, and it's them holding up the Switch, and then a week later it'll be like, I was wrong in all caps
exactly
about Pokemon, and then you'll have the honest truth about Pokemon, which is we're gonna have for the thumbnail for this video and stuff, because why not? Because it works.
Good clickbait.
It works, but we're not out here saying, like, we're not changing our opinion the entire every week. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to take to whatever little social media I have and totally just dump on Pokemon. Then tomorrow go, guys, I was wrong. Please forgive me. Ooh woo. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not me.
Senpai, can you forgive me?
Yeah, like I can't. That's not who I am. I'm going to give you my honest opinion. I'm going to stick by that opinion.
What if we kissed behind the first gym?
I mean, like, I'll be waiting for you, Eric. You just have to buy the game.
You know, here's the thing, and this is where I land on it. And I think this game runs like garbage. I do. I think this game runs like garbage, and I'm going to stand by it. Not as a content creator, but as a person who's playing this game, that Game Freak doesn't know how to make a game. I don't think they know how to make a video game that runs on modern consoles at all. Little Town Hero, Pokemon Legends Arceus, like Pokemon Sword and Shield, where it chugs frame rates, they have repeated textures, they all have pop-in. Every single game does that Game Freak creates. That doesn't negate how I feel about this game, though, because I genuinely like it. And that's the difference. And I think a lot of people are going to poop on this game because it does run like garbage. And you're right, Aaron. Like 2 weeks from now, when Game Freak decides to throw out a patch or Nintendo forces their hand, hey, this runs like garbage. We can't have this garbage game on our platform. You guys are synonymous with Nintendo. I think 2 weeks from now, it'll probably run like a dream, or at least I hope it does. Unfortunately, they didn't give us a N64 jumper pack with Donkey Kong 64 situation.
I mean, let me add to that for you. So, who's the target audience for this game?
Me.
Kids.
12-year-olds. Kids.
Oh, sorry. Kids.
34-year-old children.
Dude, that's the biggest issue right here. You have grown adults being hypercritical about a game for children. That children are going to play it and they're going to use their imagination. They're not going to look in the foreground and look and see, oh, it's moving like a flip book. Like,
yeah, but if my 6-year-old were playing this and the game suddenly chugs to 2 frames per second and then crashes on him, he's going to lose his mind.
Well, I mean, that's all right. He'll go and he'll pour water on his Switch and then move on.
Oh God. topic for a later day.
But I mean, that's at least like my takeaway from it is like, yeah, Game Freak, they have no clue how they get a good team in there that makes something or has a good concept. I mean, and then they're like, all right, you're done. Go on, go move on, do your thing.
We got Quack Twitch in the chat. as I'm a diehard Pokemon fan, so this sucks. I'm not sure what the reaction was to there, but followed up by Xenoblade has been bussin'. So it's so funny that you have like Xenoblade Chronicles 3 with these massive, like giant, like you see something, you can go walk to it and there's no pop in whatsoever. Whereas Pokemon or whatever, like I've yet to play it. Like what's going on over there? Like why? Again, this is a game for kids, so we shouldn't be complaining. But like I'm just genuinely asking, like why does it look like this in 2022? Right. You know what I mean? And
Monster Hunter Rise, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, all of these games with these massive open world environments that you can run through, and you're running steady frame rates. The textures don't have quite the pop in that this game does. KB, you're the advocate here. I don't know. I can't give an answer.
Game Freak is in Nintendo's HQ. They've moved their offices to Nintendo. So to me, it's like one of those things. It's a Nintendo subsidiary.
Yeah,
they're gonna do what they're gonna do. Why does Monster Hunter Rise look good? It's not made by Nintendo. Nintendo has no hands dipped in that project whatsoever. Why is Xenoblade good? Not Nintendo.
Yeah.
Nintendo's their own worst enemy, and it shows it.
You know what I think? Conspiracy theory time.
Let's hear it.
Oh, I love a good tinfoil talk.
So, back on the 3DS, Hyrule Warriors launched on the original 3DS. It had really crappy frame rates. Textures looked bad. It looked absolutely terrible. And then a few months later, they announced they were launching the new Nintendo 3DS. Mm-hmm. And the game they featured in every single one of their ads was Hyrule Warriors.
I remember that.
And it was, look at how good this game runs. And then they had comparison shots in their video footage for the ad for the new Nintendo 3DS, original 3DS, new Nintendo 3DS. Again, huge conspiracy, but I think everything lends to it. I wouldn't doubt that we don't have another Switch on the way. Well, I mean, it's very obvious, but I mean, sooner rather than later for them to say, hey, if you don't like the performance on this Switch for the latest hit release in Pokemon, because it's the biggest franchise in the world, buy our new Switch and enjoy playing the game the way Nintendo God intended.
I mean, can I tell you this? Can I add to that?
Add away.
I've played Pokemon Scarlet on a Steam Deck, the thing that runs everything. I mean, it runs Mario Kart at 60 frames a second. It does not run Pokemon Scarlet anything. The textures load in and everything chugs. I mean, I don't think it's a hardware issue at all. Because if it was hardware, then by all means, my device running an emulator should do it. The one friend in my server was streaming the game, and he has a gaming PC with a high-end graphics card, high-end this, high-end that. His machine was chugging trying to run that game. I think it's pure. It's not a hardware issue. I think it's just poor coding.
That's what I'm saying, though. Maybe they coded it poorly enough to really drive people to go buy new hardware.
Well, I mean,
we're going to optimize this, release it again on new hardware, and be like, hey, here you go, enjoy.
I'd believe it if Breath of the Wild Tears of the King wasn't coming out in spring 2023. That's the only way I'd believe that.
But that's why I think that.
You're right.
Like almost every other Legend of Zelda has had a simultaneous release on last gen hardware and the new gen hardware.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's an interesting point. I mean, the new Zelda is not too far away, and it would make sense for them to have. And it's this. Well, the Switch has had a really great lifespan. It's been 5 years now, pretty much. But 5 years is 5 years. You know what I mean? Yep. The Wii U had around about. It was like 20. It was like it wasn't that long at all. I think it was under 5 years.
Wii U just hit its 10-year anniversary.
Yes.
Well,
hit it.
What's the normal lifespan of a console?
Between 5 and 7.
Nintendo aside, is it 5 to 7?
Yeah,
roughly.
I would argue that 5 to 7
makes sense.
I think
makes sense. I think. Look, I think it's just probably poorly programmed. And this is the thing I've noticed this too, like with Sonic Frontiers, because that's the game that I've been playing. Sonic Frontiers runs wonderfully on a Steam Deck. I'm about 10 hours into that game. It's awesome. Like whatever issues they had on launch that it didn't work on Steam Deck, works fine now at 30 frames. Like I still can't play on 60 with high shadows, textures, whatever. It doesn't matter. The fact that like the day one patch for the Pokemon game didn't optimize anything. It's like, who are the developers even playing these games? Like, are they testing them? Are they like, were they, surely they were not unaware of texture popping and things just flying and like character models T-posing and characters models sinking into the ground and stuff. Like I've seen all the Twitter
faces
clips
disappearing completely during cutscenes.
But I will just say to play the other side here is it's not something that the average person is going to see every 5 seconds in their playthrough. You have to realize that sometimes the vocal minority sometimes is the loudest. And that is sometimes what you hear and what you see the most of. So therefore, everybody thinks that Pokemon is running poorly. And I think there is merit to that, but that's not going to be everybody's experience too. So just to play both sides of it.
Well, I mean, I can tell you this much. When I was working at the body shop, I was in charge of checking the cars over for quality to make sure that when you get your car back, you don't see where we painted. And it's kind of one of those when I see something and I point it out to the painter, hey, there's a deep scratch you didn't feather out and, cover up right. They're going to always see, I'm going to always look at that area. I'm going to always see that. And I think with this, it's just like you said, man, it's, hey, the game runs like crap. Look at this. And then you're looking for it,
Yep. Exactly. On the Google Doc here, game shipping too early. What's that about? I mean, you are our industry insider. I mean, you attended a midnight launch working behind the desk. What's that all about?
The argument that I have there is that Nintendo has always had Pokemon on an annual release cycle of some sort. But on top of that, it's not even just been annual, but a new installment in the franchise, the canon franchise, every 3 years, right? So my argument here is that because they follow such a strict schedule, because another point that's on there with Game Freak and their staffing situation, the way that they do their staff, which pretty much every single canon mainline release has had a brand new team behind it, and there's such a learning curve. I'd argue that I think they shipped it too early and that it wasn't ready.
I could see that.
Because they need to make financials for their Q3, Q4 sales table. They need to make sure that they get this out because we said we were going to do this. And it was one of those situations of, we'll fix it in post. That's what I'd argue.
I think too many developers rely on that business model. And that was our original topic for the show today, was like retro versus modern and stuff, and then delving deeper into that, which I suppose we can do it another time. But this is one of the arguments that I have for older games is like, you buy them, they're good to go. Unless they release like a different cartridge or something like that has like a version 1.0 or 1.01 or something like that. Generally, you get what you get. Whereas this is like, better get that day one patch because we up, man. Like we shipped that game and what came out too early. So it's just like, why are we now normalizing? Well, this is just how it is. You know what I mean? Like, why we're paying? If I go buy this game, to me, it's $80. To me, $80 is a lot of money. $79.95. Like, that's a lot of money for me to get that even digitally. To have a game that's half baked.
I mean, you could spend that $80 on Miles Morales for Steam Deck. Runs phenomenally over there.
A 5-hour game.
Hey.
You just find a demo for Steam Deck of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet,
You could always do that too.
But I mean that is expensive, and these mistakes aren't easily fixed. I mean, there's a lot that is there that is broken, and I think anyone who's played it or watched it get played can agree with that. There's a lot there that is broken, but here's the thing, Eric, and if you wanted us to convince you to purchase it. The game itself, looking past its technical missteps, is easily the most fun I've had in a Pokemon game. In a Pokemon game in a really long time.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's honestly a breath of fresh air with the gameplay and everything. I mean, I hate the whole gotta catch 'em all mentality, man. I can gotta give a crap less about, if I have a full Pokedex, I'm not catching 400 Pokemon. I'm going to go find the ones in the wild that I like. And the fact that you don't have the random encounters, they're random because they just load in on you. They could load in right on top of you, but you can see what that Pokemon is. You can be like, nope, don't want. Like I can give a damn less about Lechonk. I hate that stupid thing. Can't stand it.
Yep.
I'll walk right around it.
Under its eyes.
Yeah, I'll walk right around it. Don't care. You know what I mean? I'll walk right around that, and I like that. The trainer battles, there's not a boatload of those you have to sit through, dude. That's why I'm struggling because I haven't been fighting. I haven't been battling trainers. I've just been wandering around like a gypsy in this, man. It's great.
They removed a lot of the personal grind that you had to go through because a random encounter was literally that. You just happen to be walking in tall grass and suddenly you're in a battle. And this, you get the chance to decide whether or not you want to enter that battle.
Yeah.
If you walk in front of someone's eyeballs on Route 2, you're fighting that dude because he looked at you. But the thing about this game is it removed that personal grind and it made that catch cycle a lot easier to try to jump into and feel good about too. Because I mean, I'm not grinding the Pokedex because I want to, in the sense that I'm a completionist. I'm grinding it because I look over on that hill and I go, oh, there's a Pokemon I want to go catch and add to my Pokedex. I'm going to walk over to it and I'm going to fight it and then I'm going to catch it. The open worldness of this game too is super huge in that. If you don't want to be the very best and do all the gym battles, if you don't want to complete your Pokedex, you've got 3 different storylines that you can go through and just go take on the Titan Pokemon. Like it's a, hey, go kick rocks somewhere else kind of attitude with this game. And I love that it has that freedom. The multiplayer is super good. Actually very stable, surprisingly stable. Yeah, more stable than Splatoon.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I will say that.
That's a tall order there. I think my
oh yeah, it's a low bar, but
my thing is like if they're removing the conventionals from Pokemon where you get that random battle, you see the trainer. How do you gain EXP? You'll be punished
if you choose to go to it.
You can
still go back.
Yeah.
So I went through and thanks to the super mod Silent Brook, I have all 3 starters. So I went, found a Ditto. I've been handing out starters left and right. And my Ditto, when I caught it, was level 26. It's now level 29 just from me breeding Pokemon.
Never mind.
So it's leveling up, it's
just from.
But I mean, they make different ways for you to gain experience, and I kind of like it. I kind of like the new approach, man.
Very important part here in the chat. Quack Twitch says, fellas, hear me out. Scarlet and Violet are already 0 out of 10 games. They don't have Farfetch'd. Game is irrelevant. And you know what? I'm not buying it. I love Farfetch'd.
You know what? I'm not a fan of Farfetch'd, man. I can't get behind that hot take. Nope.
I was a big Scyther guy, and I love Scyther.
Yeah, and Scyther's in it. Yep, he is. You know what isn't, though? I found out my boy Abra isn't, but that's okay.
Are you serious?
Okay. But you can have somebody trade it to you, like from Pokemon Bank or whatever, which is fine.
Leaks, though, says Kinsley Extreme. There were plenty of leaks before Pokemon even came out. Don't worry about that Farfetch'd.
Yeah,
lots of leaks.
Somebody got it on the Steam Deck.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence. I've really been enjoying Sonic Frontiers like that. It's like that's Game of the Year contender for me. But for me to just go buy a Pokemon game for $80, I don't know. I suppose I would just have to buy it to just see what it's about. I didn't want to buy it. Well, I originally wanted to buy it just to stream, but I'm glad it didn't because it didn't work out. I did a music stream yesterday. And that was a hell of a lot of fun. I feel like I would have had more fun just playing music than I would Pokemon just for the sake of streaming it. So if I play Pokemon, I think it would be an off-stream game just because I feel like if I'm playing a game on Twitch, I feel like I'm not able to envelop myself in it totally, and I'm sure you guys know that. I mean, Nerdwire, you're doing an off-stream playthrough too.
Oh yeah,
so it just makes sense. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do a couple trade-ins today because there's a couple of games that I have that I'm just not playing. I just
come join us, Eric. Play with us.
Dude, the music in Pokemon though. Oh my god, it's so good.
Every single jam feels like an Eric Ladd jam, and I don't know why.
Dude,
and I'm
do.
not trying to say that to stroke anyone's feathers here, but what I am saying is like there are some
guitar riffs, dude. Yep, dude. Oh my god, the bass lines in it, dude. The bass is amazing. The guitar is amazing. I mean, even the synths sound like something you'd come up with, dude.
Yeah,
maybe we're giving Eric Ladd too much credit here, but where did you take your inspiration from?
Yeah.
Maybe it's them that we're hearing in there, but it's good. It is good music.
Really, that's what I fell asleep to last night during Eric's stream. I was playing Pokemon, and I was at one of the Team Star locations, and I was like, man, I really like this. I'll leave it on. I didn't even fight anybody. I just left that on. I had Eric making music. I had Pokemon music on. And then next thing I know, I wake up, I'm in the dark down in the living room. Everything's shut off. Cody's done streaming. Eric's done streaming. I'm like, what's going on? What I missed? Well, I mean, it was a hell of an evening.
Yeah. I mean, I'm interested in getting Violet. Like, I'm not totally like shut off against it. Put it that way. So, I mean, if anything, if I see any of the funny graphic things, personally, I would just laugh.
Dude, they're hilarious.
Oh yeah.
At the beginning of my game, the guy's shirt sleeve turned into a suit and tie. So like, I was like,
of my game, Professor or Director Clavel's face turned upside down right after the first battle. Both times I played through in Scarlet and in Violet when the camera shifted around from the battle with Nimona, and his face turns upside down on his head. It was great.
Yeah,
10 out of 10 would recommend.
It's dude, if you're not getting a game for being competitive in Pokemon, get it for the bugs because they're funny. I mean, I like the bugs in this more than I did in Cyberpunk. In Cyberpunk, people just drop out of the sky. So like,
I suppose with Cyberpunk though, there was a lot more on the line because that was like one of the most hyped games of all time. Like legit.
A decade in development.
Well, I'll tell you this, man. The way Pokemon fans are, you would think this game was in development for 20 years. I'll tell you this much, dude. I've never met outside of PlayStation gamers. I've never met a more toxic group of people, and it's Pokemon fans. Like, good lord.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Cool.
I can agree with that.
Don't you dare change their trees to something that looks like paper mache. Like they'll light them on fire.
Oh, there you go. So Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Anybody have that game? Let us know in the chat here or on the YouTube comments below. So that pretty much wraps it up for our topic. We've got one more topic left that I've figured out. I found that you guys don't even know what it is. So we're going to go to our wrap up transition here. Remember, don't talk because they can hear you. Don't say anything saucy or spicy. He's going to say something. Here we go. Oh no, where's my thing?
Oh no, he's gone.
Oh no,
he's back. And he's back. Oh, and so is the room.
Oh no.
Say no, Mrs. Nerdwire in the chat.
Ka-chow. So I've got a good one for you. If you could go back 1 year in time, what would you do differently?
Like my personal life or just in the universe?
Just in general. Oh, I'd probably say
Cody, you go first.
Your life.
Oh,
if I could go back in Aaron's life 1 year ago, what would I do differently? Oh man, I think that's really hard to answer because I mean, here's the thing. I'm not a person who believes in fate necessarily. Fate. You manifest your own destiny. The person that I am today is because of the decisions that I made a year ago, because of the decisions I made a decade ago, because of the decisions I made 2 decades ago, what have you. But if I wanted to be happier, I probably would have tried to figure out a way to start entertaining people a lot sooner on the internet. I would have gotten plugged into a community sooner. I was not exactly the happiest person a year ago. I wasn't sad necessarily, but I didn't feel like what I was doing was gratifying in my day-to-day everyday life. Like it was I'm just passing the time. I'm not creating anything. I'm not doing anything. I'm just being whatever I was being at that time a year ago. Yeah, no, I think if I were to change anything, I would have tried to plug myself into a creative outlet and a better community a lot sooner.
That's a fair point. KB, what about you, man?
Go back in time any year or just in a year?
Just 1 year ago. Like, what would you do? What would you start?
I don't know.
Start streaming or?
Well, 1 year ago.
Good job.
I don't know. A year ago, I was in a very, very dark place with family stuff. So, I mean, if we go back 2 years ago, same thing, still dark place, family. If we did 3 years ago, I don't know, probably try harder at work. So, I mean,
well, I
that's
suppose
all I really have, man. I'm a boring person, man. I'm probably the most boring you've ever met. I wake up, go to work, go to sleep. So like probably would have said be more of a go-getter because I'm very much of a I'll get to it when I get to it. Kind of
now.
Yeah,
now.
I'd rather enjoy my moments now than plan ahead. That's why me having a stream schedule now is a big deal because I don't schedule anything. I just go, yep, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to like, if I get something in my head, it has to happen that day or I have a meltdown. So like maybe more motivation.
You're not boring, Aaron.
Absolutely not.
Oh, please.
You're not boring. Honestly, one of the most entertaining people that I get to talk to.
Oh my God.
Legitimately.
Dude.
Legitimately.
There's a reason why I picked you as our co-host to start the show off, man. Telling you.
Well, I appreciate that, but if I could eat the same meal for the rest of my life, I would.
Don't mistake consistency for being boring.
I mean, I'm consistent at a lot of things, and just skating on by is probably my most consistent.
I want you to know there's a lot of love going on in the chat for Aaron.
I know. So. But outside of that, I don't know. Like I said, probably try harder at like a work environment because I don't know. When I was working in the office, I was a very bare minimum kind of guy.
You know what? If you're getting paid to do it, show up, be the last one there and be the first one to leave and maximize the amount of stuff that you don't do.
That was pretty much it, man. I hung out I'd get some snacks, I'd take a walk around the building and then, come back. Oh, I was just on my 15,
That's the way to do it. Well, this is the thing is like trying hard at work. Sometimes it doesn't matter, man. At the end of the day, like depending on what kind of corporation you work for, especially like the large one that you worked for, you're just a number, man. Don't matter.
Yeah.
So I would say don't worry about trying hard at work if it's not something you care about. You're trying hard now at your stream schedule and stuff like that. So
yeah, I've definitely done a 180 with everything.
Yeah, I think you're doing really good. So perhaps the 1 year ago question doesn't necessarily apply because there are certain things that you can only do at certain times, certain points in your life when you're ready to do it, even if you think you're not. So I'll give you, so for me last year, I was really pushing the retro game remix stuff on YouTube really hard. Pokemon Diamond and Pearl came out last year, roughly this time. And I was like, why don't I just do the Route 209 cover? So I booked a studio session and I did it all within like 2 days. Like I learned it, programmed it, recorded it, filmed it, edited it, put it out on YouTube. And it ended up like getting like 40 views within the first couple of hours. And I was like, this is not what I thought was going to happen. And like I actually really, really burned out heavily on YouTube this time last year to the point where I'm pretty sure I went in a dark place mentally, like, a little bit. My diet consisted of a lot of cowboy killers and a lot more
cowboy killers,
black coffee. Just because
butt wiper.
Yeah, no. Actually,
well.
There was a lot of adult sodas there too. But that's when you put that pressure on yourself, so it just didn't pan out. And that's the thing with content creation that I've learned, especially within the last year is. Yes, there are things that I want to do, but I think going at my own pace, which is why Twitch has been really good because I can just sign on 3, 4, 5 times a week, just do what I want, rather than like, okay, I have to put out this Pokemon cover this week because I want to try and get views and I want to try and cash in on the algorithm. Like that is not the way to do it. that will lead to burnout, and it did it for me, because at that point in time I feel like I was in a circle of people who were higher up in YouTube, and I always felt that I was lesser than. And when you associate with people who have thousands and millions of views and subscribers and stuff like that, and it's like, where's my break? Why didn't I ever take off? And then you have this inherent pressure on yourself to perform and capitalize on all that stuff. It's hard, man. It's hard. It's very easy to get in your own head. So my advice for me a year ago is, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Do things at your own pace. Do things when you want. That's it. That's how I've learned. There you go.
I like it.
I still need some more Cowboy Killers, though. That's it. I have a friend who might have some that I can borrow.
Oh God! Better watch. Those things will stunt your growth, man.
Hey, man.
Why do you think I'm tall? I didn't smoke or drink coffee, man. I mean, you could have been big and strong like me, but you wanted to,
Oh man!
I love it.
And with that being said, let's throw it over to our Patreon. Thanks again, just for all these people who are here who help support the channel.
Yes, thank you, everybody. These wonderful 5 individuals here who are currently supporting us on Patreon. We really appreciate you. By the way, if you're on Patreon and you would prefer to go under a different name, I will literally just copy and paste it. Please let me know. Remember, we're after the show. We are going off air to record our first bonus episode, which is our House Hunters International. Oh God,
I can't wait.
You guys are chopping at the bit to do that. So thank you, everybody, for watching and listening.
Do you have questions you want me to ask of Eric, by the way? Shoot them to me on Discord. Maybe they'll make it into the post-show stuff.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. And just remember, if you're on Patreon, you get the pre-show, which is our the pre-show, which is our prep call, the actual pre-show, and then our post-show, and then all the other bonus stuff. So you get like a couple extra hours of content per week, which is really exciting. So if you want more of us more often, there you go. We also got another. We got another one. We got another Patreoner. Let me go ahead and absolutely thank Pondy98 for joining us on Patreon over there. Thank you, Pondy. Our first UK Patreoner. We appreciate you.
We're international now.
We are absolutely international. Very good. Well, by the way, next week I'm going to leave the phone lines open. I think we may or may not have a guest next week. If we don't have a guest next week, I am going to leave the phone lines open the entire show, because if you live in Rancho Cucamonga, I want you to call in. I want to know what the hell's going on over there. Why is there so many people watching?
My favorite city. Man. It's my favorite city, Rancho Cucamonga. I've never been. I want to. It sounds great.
Can I just say, when I was at my last job, I had a lot of orders in Rancho Cucamonga, so it was what a place, dude. There's a lot of nice places out in Rancho Cucamonga, man. I'll tell you what. Maybe it's Mrs. Nerdwire using a VPN.
It's probably her.
Wouldn't surprise me. All right. Very good. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching episode 21. We're flicking on over to our post show. So if you're watching us live right now, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. But if you're watching on YouTube and listening on Spotify and iTunes and stuff, make sure to give us 5-star ratings on Spotify and a review on Apple. Helps us grow, and share with your friends. Any final words, peeps?
Thank you guys for watching.
Don't forget to bring a towel.
He who laughs last thinks the slowest.
Oh, thanks, Wilson, from my next door neighbor, Wilson, for your sage advice.